we're going back to our childhood. Mac was the only child for 9 years, and he was sort of the rule of the roost until Danny came along, and then the roost changed. Danny was a crybaby, and they had to take care of Danny. I think he had the colic, maybe. Anyway, he cried a lot, but at our house, we had to work. Mama got up singing every morning, and they'd call us, and she or Dad, one would call us and say, "It's going on 7 o'clock." It may be 5 after 6, but it was going on 7 o'clock. We got up and we all ate breakfast together. Back then, you had your own pork, and ham and eggs were a common thing for breakfast, or bacon and eggs. And Mama would pack the lunch for the boys that were going to work, and she'd put ham biscuits or something in it. She would also put applesauce and peanut butter mixed and make them sandwiches out of that, and it looked so good. Graydon and Don were both in the Army. Brenda was born after Don went to the Army, and he didn't see her until he came home in 1945. She was 2 years old when he got home. And Graydon was gone, and for 6 weeks they didn't hear from Graydon. And there was a Bradshaw man down in the Hidnot area, and his family got a letter from him. And I remember going with Mom and Dad down there to hear that letter. So Ellen says one of the things that she remembers so well about the end of the war was we were all out at Mama's in the old kitchen. It was a shed, like it was finished, but it was built onto the back of the house. And we were sitting at the table. The back of the table had a long bench, and we were sitting there eating, and Don came in. And Ellen says, I remember him standing at the door with both hands on the door facings, just eating up what he was seeing, because we were all there. I don't remember that, but I do remember the long bench and the table, and if you were on the bench, you got down and crawled out to get out, because there was no other way to get out unless somebody moved and let you out. But Graydon and Don both came home safe from the war, and both of them said they knew. Then on Wednesday, the women in the community were meeting for community prayer meeting. The women were praying for them, and they could feel the prayers of the women praying for them. So we were blessed. That's part of my early life that I remember, and I think it's an important part in the history of our country, because we had men that were willing. Mac's daddy was there while Mac was growing up, or while Mac was a baby. I don't know how old you were when he went, but he was in Belgium for a long time. And he loved to tell this story. Once he was in a foxhole, and the bullets were just...
That was Daddy.
I'm talking about Paul. The bullets were just flying overhead, and something hit him on the side of the face, and he just knew he'd been hit. But the next morning when he woke up, there was the hoppy toad in there, and it had used the bathroom on him. He hadn't been shot at all, but he loved to tell that story, and he'd laugh great big about his war experiences. That was the funny part. He had lots of other experiences too, but he was a cook, and Graydon was a cook in the Army too. So, and Don drove a tank, so they got home safely, and that was many prayers answered. Now that's some of the memories that I have from my early childhood.
Do you have any stories when you were a little boy?
Oh yeah. I thought I'd learn how to milk. We didn't have a milker to start with. We just had to use our hands I got so I could milk 2 cows by hand, while Daddy milked the rest of them.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
You can tell about the two before falling off and hitting you in the head.
I was gonna make me a swing. Had an old crib out there, had a pole hanging off of it. I just thought I'd tie some rope to it and make me a swing. I think about one swing and that thing come over and pop me in the head.
It wasn't anchored at the other end.